All right, guys. So I wanted to add on to a point I had made relating to this Heyoka empath. And I had said that many Heyoka have Native American ancestors. Okay? And one might say and ask, and they might say, well, dude, you're white. How in the world could you be Heyoka? You don't look very Native American. And the answer to that question, first I would say, yeah, you're right. I am a white man. Very much. That's my vessel is a white man. But you have to understand that when it comes to the Akashic records, your karmic cycle, we're dealing with things on a soul level. Okay? The soul is eternal. Now, these are concepts that you're either going to understand or you're not, but the soul is eternal and it reincarnates. And I'm an old soul. I haven't got it in the title of my channel. I'm a very old soul. Probably one of the oldest that you might meet, to be honest. And I'm not even trying to brag. In my karmic cycle, I've been Native American. I've been a lot of races. A whole bunch of them. I'm going to tell you, I'll share with you a dream I had one time. And it actually revealed to me some of my ancestors. And in this dream, a man showed up. And this man was somebody that, he used to be a manager of mine. He's not a very nice man. He shows up in my dream and he starts scolding me and trying to put me through what's called a humiliation ritual in the astral plane. Now, this guy, like I said, was not a very nice man. And he's actually very high up. He's a very high level occultist in the area he's from. And he starts going to work on me. But I notice all of a sudden he starts getting surrounded by figures, and I start to notice who these figures are. They're my ancestors. And you know who they were? They were Atlantean ancestors, Caribbean ancestors, very old ancestors. They surrounded him, protected me, destroyed him, sent him out of my dream. It was a confirmation for me how far back I go on a soul level. So when I say that, that's what I mean. You could be an old soul. Do you remember? That's part of the awakening process, is remembering your past lives. Guys, when we reincarnate, guess what? The idea is that you should have lived all of them, all of the races. You should have lived both genders multiple times. How this works, just like how a pendulum swings left to right, one way or the other, when you reincarnate in a live stream, typically you come back as the opposite, the other gender. So let's say you were male in this one. Well, in your past life, you were female. And in the life before that, you were male. If you're that old, you might not be that old. And if you don't understand any of these concepts, you're probably not that old. This could very well be your first or second go around. But I bring that back and try to make the point that the whole idea of it is so that you have lived multiple life streams through many different vessels, and that you have collected knowledge and wisdom from all of them. That way you can indeed see God in everyone. You know why? Because you have lived as everyone at one point or another. That's the idea. That's how you actually get there. You wake up, you spiritually awake, tap into the higher self. And then as you connect and align and grow close to God, the one creator, you begin to realize that even though our vessels look different at a soul level, we're all the same. And we all share very much similar qualities. A lot of us want the same thing. You begin to realize that a lot of these right-left paradigms and things that are designed to divide us are silly. Things that the church propagates, things that the government propagates, the wicked government. But guys, we're coming into a different age. The age of Aquarius. There's going to be a perfect balance of masculine and feminine energy. It's not going to be a masculine-dominated world anymore. It'll be a perfect balance. Now, does that mean there's going to be a perfect, equal amount of men to women? No, that's not what it means. If you think in that terms, you're thinking about the gender. If I did have to guess, though, I'm going to say there's going to be a lot more women than there are going to be men at that point in the age of Aquarius. Yeah, that's just my theory. But then again, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, I hope that helps, guys. I'm not the only one who's thought like this. Actually, a lot of the wise, great ones come to these conclusions. When you begin to wake up and understand what really matters, you really start to realize that God is in everybody. Even though some people might have had a different teacher, maybe their teacher was Buddha, but you still begin to see the same creator within them. You just got to know what the fruit looks like. You got to know what tree it's coming from. You also begin to recognize and see bad fruit from bad trees. Because guess what, guys? There's lots of those. There's a lot of bad trees. And a lot of the bad trees are pretending to be the good tree. That's why you have to learn to recognize them by their fruit. Y'all have a good one.